Yes. We know what you're thinking. Guys, the Chiefs aren't even in the playoffs. We've been watching Wild Card the round all weekend long. There's no Chiefs. There's nothing to talk about. What are we doing? What is Arrowhead Allies doing still popping up on my screen? Well, I'll tell you what. We had to give a proper farewell. We had to come back one more time, wrap things up, put it in a bow, and set the course for the offseason. So that's what we're here to do. Here on Arrowhead Allies, Clint Schweitzer, Noah Groniger, Brian B. Shinen, Melena Scaitlin-Barrett. The team is back. We're going to do this one more time. Guys, usually we are pretty busy in January, but kind of enjoying some downtime, putting the feet up, watching some football. It's a little bit different feeling, is it not? We're all just a little off over this, I think.
I'm enjoying my time off. I don't know about y'all. I've been thoroughly enjoying some NFL playoff football.
Yeah, it's been different around here without the Chiefs, but like Brian said, there's been some really good games. Even when I'm like, God, am I really interested in this Rams-Panthers game? And then I'm checking in the updates, and I'm like, okay, I'm in. This Panthers team is for real. They're showing up against the Rams again. They beat them in the regular season, coming back, showing up again. So I've been in. Packers, Bears was insane. Bills, Jags. I mean, go down the list. We'll see what happens with the Texans and Steelers tonight. But although the Chiefs aren't in, and I'm sad, I'm still into these playoffs for now and rooting for the Texans or anyone in the NFC to win the Super Bowl because I can't stand the Bills, Broncos, or Patriots, especially the Patriots fans winning a Super Bowl and talking their stuff because I've heard enough already.
Clint, before we wrap things up and put a bow on this season, do you have anything to add to what Brian and Noah just were talking about?
I've been checking in. I've been watching. I like football, and it's a very strange feeling. It's very odd. I mean, you think about dating back to 2015 when the Chiefs won 10 straight games to end that season. And won a playoff game. And then 2016, or the 2 seed, lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2017, win the division, but lose at home to the Titans. And that started the Patrick Mahomes era. And since then, guys, nothing short of the AFC Championship game. So to be in this position has been very strange for the organization, for the fans, for the NFL themselves, to have no Chiefs involved. Of course, there's no Bengals involved. There's no Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So it's kind of feels like you're almost watching a simulation, almost like a Madden season that you simulate through and watch what happens. And it's just kind of a lot of random teams maybe you didn't expect. You got the Bears doing what they're doing, and they're a team that I did have their coach Ben Johnson as my preseason coach of the year, and that kind of played out. I think he would be certainly a candidate. So yeah, it's been wild, and we'll see what happens. We're not used to kind of checking out in January. We'll see.
And so look, that Bears Packers, look, I had to butt in and cut in with this because I love a good division rival. It's one of my favorite things about sports, not just football, but sports, period. And the way that you get me intrigued into the storyline just a little bit more is for a good division rival. And why not the oldest in the National Football League? We're talking about like over 100 years of rivalry between the Bears and the Packers. So it's like, Caleb Williams coming up and doing what he did. Man, look, and one thing that I've learned about these playoffs and with tonight's matchup that I'm going to be paying attention to is something that I look at the Chiefs all the time that Clinton Noah love to argue with me about is the offensive line play. Last night's game, Chargers and Patriots. The Chargers had no chance at all. They got smothered. Justin Herbert got tenderized last night like a beef patty at Five Guys. Okay, like it was ridiculous how the Chargers just offensive line kind of imploded during the game. And we've seen this before. We've been a victim of this. We were a victim of it last year against the Eagles. We were a victim of it against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 55. So to me, it just adds more to the Chiefs needing to beef up the offensive line just a little bit more. But even more importantly, they have got to get some ferocious guys on that defensive line. We can't do no more Mike Danas. We can't do no more Derek Notties. We need some monsters. We need some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on that defensive line to get after the quarterback and help out Patrick and the offense. But that's just an observation that I've seen from these playoffs so far.
Well, Brian, now all of a sudden I'm really into offensive lines. And when you say it that way, like if you're trying to get our Raphael or our Leonardo, then now it makes sense. It's like Kevin in The Office when he can't do math unless it's about food. it just clicks. There's certain things that draw parallels that just click. Now I'm in. Now I want. I get it. I get it now.
You know what? I want to talk about disappointments of the 2025 season. I'm going to start with you, Noah, but it feels weird not to say the 2025-26 season. There's no 26 for us, which is terrible. That's my first disappointment. Noah, do you want to talk about yours?
It's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of the whole thing in general, just not expecting this, not seeing this coming, being blindsided by all this, the offense bogging down, the defense getting worse, no pass rush. You feel like Chris Jones and George Karlaftis are going to be able to manufacture something, even with a Derek Nottie. I mean, you bring Mike Pennell back. You're hoping that these rookies can do something. Obviously, Omar Noman-Lott goes down with a torn ACL. Ashton Gelati showed a little bit towards the end that makes you kind of excited for his second year, but you still, like Brian said, you need to beef up that defensive line. You need to get a real stud opposite George Karlaftis on that end. Hopefully a guy like Reuben Bain in the draft, a guy like David Bailey. So there's a lot to be seen, but yeah, just disappointing from being blindsided by this and not expecting it at all.
Brian?
It was a blind.
Yeah, I think just leaving on a sour note with Mahomes and the injury. I'm just concerned about where this team will be next year without him for a certain amount of time, because in the offseason program, he's a leader of the team. He's a leader of the franchise. I'm sure they follow him and what he does in the offseason programs. You know, he's always in attendance, always getting the guys together. In Texas, he's not going to be able to do that this year. Hell, we don't even know who the damn receivers are going to be right now. So it was just the dynasty was chipping away last year. You could see some fatigue. You could see some guys slowing down, and it was just sad to see it kind of fall and crack under the pressure and it was under enormous amount of pressure this year. But to see it crack and fold like that, it was sad to see, and we got a chance to revisit seriously what the 2000 era Chiefs were like, what the Herm Edward Chiefs were like. That it was those last 4 or 5 games was miserable to watch, because it definitely reminded me of that time and how bad the Chiefs were and how long ago it was and where we came from. So I think, having a dose of reality, having some humble pie is always good for your diet, especially when you've been on a high cholesterol winning menu as the Chiefs have had, sipping champagne and eating, prime steaks on their way to winning Super Bowl. So it's good to have a little humble pie. But the future is a little uncertain right now. I didn't think that the future would be in as much jeopardy as it is right now with an overturn and the coaching staff coming up. We're about to lose key players at key positions. We're strapped against the salary cap. We got guys getting old with big contracts. So we got retirements on the line. So the Chiefs have a lot to deal with. But all that adds to is just going to be the most intriguing offseason we've had since Andy Reid first got here in 2013.
Yeah.
Brian, before we get to talking more about that coaching staff situation, Clint, do you have anything to add what those guys are saying about disappointments during the season?
I'm disappointed that basically before on Thanksgiving Day, this thing was all but over. On Thanksgiving Day, when the Chiefs went to 6-6 and lost to the Dallas Cowboys, I know there was mathematical ways, but I think as it played out, I don't think that still would have happened. I'm disappointed that Patrick Mahomes had to suffer a devastating knee injury this late in the season and to really put things into question. I'm disappointed in this coaching staff that did not seem ready. It seemed a little fat and happy. They seemed a little, heavy on the rings on their fingers. I think that the blame is to go around. And no one they even really focus on because, like Noah said, this is just organizational players. Everybody on down deserves a piece of this pie. So the disappointing aspect being that the Chiefs were not in the fight. Like Brian said, you're sitting there watching 3 weeks of worse than preseason football. That is abysmal. That is a place no one wants to be. And we were sitting there smacked in the face with Chris Oladokun and Gardner Minshew for 2 plays and an offensive line that was beyond worse than what we've even experienced all year with backups and third stringers. It was rough. It is hopefully something that is an eye-opener. that we don't have to experience again. Not saying that this is going to be a quick fix, and we'll get into that later, though.
All right, Brian, all eyes seem to be on the offensive coordinator position. How do you see the coaching staff ultimately shaking out?
I think it's going to be familiarity. I think, people have their wish list of Mike McDaniel, of Cliff Kingsbury. I'm not sure what the coach is from the Rams, who's a hot candidate for offensive coordinator. But, it's either going to be Kafka, Bieniemy, maybe. I would love Bieniemy to come back. I really would. I think he sets a tone of accountability for everybody that, a lot of people like to, avoid, but it's necessary in order to win championships. I think he provides that for this team, and it's missed. I think that the Chiefs need a hard ass in that offensive room. I don't think Matt Nagy was a hard ass. He didn't seem like one. The most offensive thing that I've heard him say was, Jawan Taylor, we've talked to him before. He needs to get those penalties straight. No shit. Eric Bieniemy, I saw him live in action cussing DeAnthony Thomas out for not finishing a play in training camp. We all know he holds 15 accountable by, calling him a competitive prick in the public amongst everybody to hear. We've seen him get into it with Travis Kelce multiple times on the sideline. To me, all of that is good for championships, for being competitive, for demanding your best. So I would love Bieniemy. I think it's going to be Kafka though. I wouldn't be surprised if it's him. I think Chiefs fans are delusional sometimes, and sometimes I can be delusional too. But in this case in point, with Andy Reid dipping outside of his family tree to help run the offense, that's a wish that's way too big that I don't think is going to come true.
So speaking of wish list, Clint, I want to talk about your off-season wish list. I'm sure it's long.
Long and distinguished. No, I think we've talked about a lot of it. I mean, Brian mentioned just the tweaks that need to happen on the roster, the defensive line, the offensive line. I think the secondary is going to be something to really watch with, the Jalen Watsons of the world, the Trent McDuffie situation. What's going to happen there? We don't know. Jaden Hicks, what happened to him? He barely played in the last really half of the season. Christian Fulton, is he someone that could come back and be a potential starter next year? That secondary has a lot of moving parts that a lot of people aren't talking about. And then the receiver situation. Is Rashee Rice an active member of the National Football League? Coming up, we don't really know, and I don't want to make any accusations or pass judgment just yet. We don't know everything right now, but that's something that's in flux. Is Travis Kelce going to be back on this team? Because I've learned that if Noah Gray is the starting tight end for this team, that's a very bad thing, and we can't really be having that. So, Patrick Mahomes, my wish list, if I had one wish, it would be Bobby Stroup gets in there like Mr. Miyagi and fixes the knee by July, and we're just good to go. That's all. That's my wish list right there, Milena. That's my number one.
Sounds like we need to get some chopsticks and a swarm of flies in a room and get Patrick started there. Maybe
did you all have the Nintendo game, the Karate Kid? Yeah. Did you have the Nintendo game? Oh, that was such a good game with the chopsticks. You reminded me of that. That was such a fun game.
The hurricane part in that game is ridiculous.
Yes, still extremely difficult.
I just, before we go on, I know, Noah, you've got some awards that I'm excited to get to, but can we just talk about how crazy the fans must be feeling? We're all feeling it, but the fans must just be lost right now.
They're crashing out. We see different variations of it, but there's a lot of crash out going on in Kingdom. We see it. We know. I get it.
I get it, but you look, people, you just need to adopt a team and just ride with them. And if they get kicked out, the hell with the season. Just enjoy your life. Go pick up a hobby. Go knit some sweaters or something. Go go do your taxes. It's tax season time. Just go do something, man. And if your team gets kicked out, your adopted team gets kicked out.
Okay, Noah, you got
some here before we move on. Chris Ratley says, "Well, plenty of cap space, very easily. The coaching staff need to refresh. We have played 21 extra games since Mahomes got here. Our guys were tired, fatigued, banged up, obviously injury prone. This is best case scenario. We pick number 9 next year. We win the division. Be right back at it, guaranteed."
He's right, and I think one thing we're not thinking about too is that the Chiefs are going to have a third place schedule. Like, we haven't had that in so long. It's been first place, Showtime, primetime games every single week, for the past several years. But that third place schedule is going to play a bigger part in how the Chiefs are going to play out next year.
It's not as easy as you might think, Brian. You hear third place and it sounds all good, but then you look at the teams, you're like, where are the easy teams other than like Jets and Dolphins, which we play the AFC East, so we play them all. Maybe Falcons, they're looking at a new coach. Is Jim Harbaugh land there? It's not as easy as you might think when you just hear third place schedule. We're looking at that. And
yeah, that's true.
Third place schedule.
Because playing the AFC East in and of itself, that's...
And then the NFC West, you got the Rams, Seahawks, Niners.
Yeah, that's true. But the difference is, okay, we're playing the Falcons, but we're not playing the Buccaneers. We're not playing the Panthers, who was in the playoffs. It makes a slight difference this year, but not a big difference to your point, though.
I think it made a big difference this year if you look at who the Chargers were playing, and I really do. If they were playing the Jets and winning by 3 points late, we're playing the Bills, and that creates, that's a couple games in there that really turn the tide. Not that we were able to get back and do anything anyway, but
you can count on one hand how many cupcakes the Chiefs had on their 25 schedule. It's like we discussed this earlier in the season. It's like the schedule got tougher. It was already a tough schedule, but it's like the schedule got tougher as the season went along because some of those teams we weren't expecting to be, as good as advertised.
Yeah, the Raiders, the Colts, the Colts were the 1 seed at the time we played them. That was one of the cupcakes who wound up not making the playoffs. At the time, they're the 1 seed. And
then you got
the Commanders,
Ravens, and Lions, who you think are going to be good, and none of them made the playoffs. So
exactly.
We also have a comment here, a familiar face around here at Arrowhead Allies. What's going on, Shaggy Shane, my brother? Says it's a Jeremiah Love time. Get Mahomes under center a bit more next season and reinvent the offense.
Who are you guys for?
I'm just not sure about Jeremiah Love at running back. The value at that position, like if you're going to go get Breece Hall, like that's kind of cheap.
I just want to go.
We got some technical difficulties here.
We got to get Milena some Google Fiber.
Well, Milena's frozen on us, guys. We're going to
try to get her back in, but in the meantime, just talking about the running back with Breece Hall.
Is it me?
You got some value out of Breece Hall that you can go sign him out of free agency. They're not expensive if you go out in free agency and get a running back. But when you got a draft, like what is expensive out there? Defensive ends are expensive to go out there in free agency and sign. So if you're looking at, hey, how are we going to fill defensive end? Let's go get Trey Hendrickson. You got $30-40 million for a defensive end? No. He's also older. There's not a lot of really talented defensive ends out there. So I think value-wise and money-wise, you need to draft a top pass rusher. That's where you can find them in the top end of the draft and go fill running back in free agency. If you want to take one in maybe third, fourth round, that's okay. But I'm not on this Jeremiah Love train.
Oh, I am. Yeah. I just the Chiefs need a dynamic back, man. They haven't had one in such a long time since Jamal Charles, I believe. The Chiefs have not had really a guy who is a 4-down guy who can catch the ball, run in between the tackles, run outside. I think it's time, especially where football is today and how it's played. The game has changed again. Like people have been, it's a quarterback league, it's a passing. No. The past 2 years, offense has gone down. Defenses have figured out the two shell type situation to where teams are now smaller. So teams are taking advantage of that and running you the hell over. Like we saw with the Patriots last night with Ramondre Stevenson running over the Chargers' smaller defense. So I see what you're saying, Noah. I get it. But I think the ideal of not taking a running back in the first round is so 1990s, 2000s, 2010s to where the game is flipped now. You got to run that ball, bro. You have to. And the Chiefs have steady not put any resources, any significant resources, but into the running back room. Pacheco's a 7th-round pick. Great season. Really says what Kareem Hunt, 3rd-round pick in 2017. So I would love Jeremiah Love, but it's a pipe dream. This is where I'm delusional because even if we do get a Jeremiah Love, is Andy Reid going to use him like he needs to be used? More than likely, probably not, man. So I think I love being at 9. I think it could be a time we could trade back.
Yeah,
and
I
get
agree.
more picks.
Yeah, and the whole Jeremiah Love thing is just like if you take Jeremiah Love in the first round at pick 9, or if you move back a little, pick 12, whatever, where are you getting your premier defensive end that you want? You're not. You're out. That's why I'm like, you can still get a really good running back in Breece Hall at a free agency and get your hopefully top end pass rusher, your premier guy in the draft. I don't think you can get, if you take Jeremiah Love 1, I think you're out on getting a really good pass rusher.
We will see, guys. We will see. Is it time? Wayne, I'm not sure if we have you back. You were frozen there. Now we've lost Brian.
They're going down one by
Noah,
one.
can you hear me?
Yes.
I think you're frozen. It's frozen here. So yeah.
Okay, can you see me now?
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah, it's cutting out. Oh boy.
Can you hear me now?
It's StreamYard. It has to be StreamYard.
We're
Yeah, I've got Google Fiber over here.
Brian back?
Me too, Noah.
yeah.
Hi.
Guys, we're just gonna have to move on to our.
I don't think it's our internet. I mean,
Yeah, maybe start with the awards.
Oh boy, here we go. The awards. I can't wait to hear this.
Said, but Noah, do you want to do our awards, our postseason awards?
We'll go ahead and we'll get to the awards here. Our Arrowhead Allies end of year Oops Awards presented by Starcade Media.
Look at those graphics. Yes, sir.
Woohoo!
Absolutely. We got to start off with the Jets. And I don't know if you guys have seen The Year Without a Christmas. Well, this was the year without an interception for the Jets. They went all year long with a head coach as a former great NFL cornerback without one interception. So you got Snow Miser over there, who's actually now Butterfingers Miser, and then Stonehand Miser over there instead of Heat Miser. All year without an interception, rare feat to be done, but the Jets have won the End of Year Oops Award for a year without an interception.
Love that.
Now we're moving on to the Chiefs. If you
they kind of did the opposite of the 2014 Chiefs, where our wide receivers didn't catch a touchdown pass.
Yes, God. Oh, the days of yesterday. I yearn for those days, and we may be back in them. Hopefully not, but hopefully we get things figured out. But Web of Lies, if you've seen the Investigation Discovery Channel show, Web of Lies, the lie that we were told on the web is EGE, everybody got to eat. Everyone was on board with this. Mahomes hasn't played with Hollywood Brown and Worthy and Rasheed at the same time. We got all these guys coming in. That was a web of lies, everyone. It didn't work. It didn't happen. Every time we mention everybody eating, nobody eats. So I think we just need to get rid of this acronym, get rid of everybody eating. Maybe just go get a stud wide receiver out of free agency that you can rely on. Just have one guy.
On everybody eats this year, though. We're all sucked in by EGE this year.
We were. I was a believer until I watched it on the field. Never happened.
Yeah, fair.
Now this next one goes to the Los Angeles Chargers, and It's our Denny Green Award because I tried to say it all year long. They are who we thought they were. Go ahead and crown their ass. If you want to crown the Chargers, go ahead and crown their ass. They are who we thought they were. I tried to tell everybody the Chargers weren't a real team, didn't believe in Justin Herbert, and that's their award this season. And moving on to our Dumb and Dumber Award. Goes to Matt Nagy and Dave Towe. Matt Nagy looks like he's on his way out, whether that be a head coach or an offensive coordinator. Dave Towe, I haven't heard any rumblings about him. Connor Embry, the Chiefs wide receiver coach, is gone. It looks like Dave Towe may survive and stay. So we're left with one of them, but they get our Dumb and Dumber Award. The offense bogged down. Matt Nagy, everyone said these receivers can't get open versus man coverage. Dave Towe, whether it be the missed kicks from Harrison Butker or the holdings on kick returns or just the kick coverage, just letting guys run for 20, 30 yards every time they got the ball. So there are Dumb and Dumber Award winners.
Couldn't be more appropriate.
And this next one is we're back to the Chargers. They are taking away 2 awards this season. And if you've seen Mrs. Doubtfire at the end, Miranda cannot believe that her ex-husband Daniel was Mrs. Doubtfire the whole time. And Chargers are waking up and they cannot believe that Justin Herbert was Jay Cutler the whole time. You were Jay Cutler the whole time? The whole time? I've got to go. I've got to go. Get your things. We've got to go. We've got to leave the playoffs. We've got to go.
Yeah.
Damn, Jay Cutler. Damn.
Oh, you mean Colin Cowherd's Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, Jim Harbaugh, and Justin Herbert are going home early? That's weird because that's Brady and Belichick, we were told before the season. Interesting.
Well, yeah, at least Jay Cutler got to the NFC Championship game in 2010. Herbert can't even get a playoff win.
No kidding.
Exactly. I might have been too kind. Maybe I should have put Jeff George in there instead.
I don't like Jeff.
And
how about Jay Fiedler? How about that?
Hey, that's a good poll. Former Dolphins quarterback there. But I hate to do this to Andy Reid. Our next award is the Jim Mora Award because the offense couldn't do diddly poo. Playoffs, what are you talking about? Playoffs? We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. Playoffs? Just trying to win a game, which they couldn't do down the stretch. And so we found ourselves out of the playoffs. So Andy Reid takes home the Jim Mora Award.
Jim Mora, the king of the post-game rants. I love his rants. He's so honest. He keeps it real. I would have loved to see more of those things if they were recorded more back in the day because I'm sure he had more in the vault.
That's funny.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure there's splatterings all over if we could get some of those old recordings. But our last award, we have to do it every year. We have to look. We have to scour the environment of the NFL and find who we can tell, look what you did, you little jerk. And unfortunately, this year it lands here in Kansas City, and it's Chris Jones. No, Chris Jones takes away our Uncle Frank, look what you did, you little jerk award this year as he swims outside against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, allowing their running back Malik Davis to go all the way for a touchdown to give them a 17-14 lead. And then he swims inside on Justin Herbert and allows him outside. And we all know what happened there. That ended the game. Chris Jones standing around watching Trevor Lawrence on the ground run in for a touchdown that, again, ended the game. And then offsides against the Broncos, which ended the game. So Chris Jones, we've got Hugh on stage here with Uncle Frank delivering the award for our Uncle Frank, look what you did, you little jerk award.
We love you, Chris. All love.
We do love you, Chris.
Thank you for the Denver offsides, though. I did not want to win that one, so.
Yeah, that one actually helped
us. That's terrible. I'd like,
yeah.
So you were cheering for the Raiders week 18?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, y'all
those graphics and those awards are key.
We do our best here to bring these awards at the end of every season. How many years have we done this now? I think it's been from the beginning. So
2015.
You guys want to talk?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm frozen still. Am I still frozen?
Very frozen. Unfortunately, Milena, we're sorry. You are very frozen. I mean, like Princess Fiona in the movie.
Are we all frozen?
Or is it Elsa?
Sorry, what I say? I don't know nothing. I don't know no new Disney guys. I don't have kids, so
let it go.
That was good. I only know like till about 1995 is my cutoff.
Oh,
movie.
95 was your cutoff for Disney?
Approximately. Like
mine had to be. Mine was like 90. My cutoff for Disney was 94. The Lion King. That was my last one. I was done after that.
Yeah. After that, the only one I liked a Goofy movie, which was 95. So
that was a good one. That was more my brother's generation, not my generation.
Best soundtrack. But fair. I'm kind of with you. So, well, guys, we're experiencing all kind of technical difficulties. We're going to have to call it here. We want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this.
Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid. I think 91 or 90.
That 89. That's a classic. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show this year. We're gonna regroup and see what we have for content. We'll get something. We got free agency coming up. We got the draft. We always got your back. We'll be back better than ever.
It's a microcosm of the 2025 Chiefs. That's all. That's all it is.
It is.
Exactly.
Thank you guys so much.
Till we see you next time. Go Chiefs!